Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. I started doing a video, and then someone knocked on the door, which never ever happens because there's like super like security and stuff in the building. So when someone knocks on my door, I'm always like, I didn't order anything. I'm not going to get the door, but they would not stop. So I had to like stop the video, go see who it was, and then just coming to change filters in my air conditioning unit thing. So now it won't be quite as dusty in here, so I'm excited about that. But happy Monday, and I'm so glad to be on here. I look forward to my videos every week. I had started saying on the video that I did before I had to stop it that I would love to do this every day. I watch this video kind of podcast prayer time in the mornings, and she comes on every single morning. Real Talk Kim is the name of the woman I follow, and she does these prayer calls every single morning at 8 o'clock. And I just get on. It's a little bit for accountability, but a little bit just because I get into routines where I have parts of my day where this is what I do, and then this is what I do, and then this is what I do, and that's one of the things that I do now. And I thought that'd be so cool if I could get on here every day, just check in with you guys, say hello, and then talk about something briefly, and then carry on with our day. But that may be something I'll eventually come into doing. But for now, Mondays are really good, and from now on, I think when I feel like I want to talk about something, I'm not going to try to save it. I'm just going to do it because I have days of the week now where I post like my little schedules posted on, and Monday's Motivational Monday, and that's when I do my video, and then tomorrow is Tuesday teaching, so I kind of try to show you some little teaching points in on some topic or whatever, and then Wednesday wins, and yeah, my whole week I have where I post specific things on specific days, but I had designated Monday for my videos, and now I feel like I don't see you guys enough like this. And I might also start to do these live because, for one, it takes forever to download them after I do them, and two, live is like so spontaneous, and whatever happens, happens. And I kind of like that feeling that you're actually watching as it's happening, and not like this is a little bit dated when I don't do it live. But anyway, for now, it is what it is. But it's been another really good week. I had a good weekend. I was able to get together with Bailey again, which I love about being in the city. The kids now are spread all around, like a few in Chatham-Kent, London, and then Reagan's out west in Vancouver, and then a couple still here in Toronto. So I get to see the ones that are in Toronto a little more frequently than I did when it's been almost 11 years now since they started school and moved to Toronto. So now I spend a little bit more time with my oldest, which is really wonderful. And we had just a nice dinner on Saturday night, and had a good time. So I'm very thankful for that. But in the midst of all that I've been doing, I've been spending a lot of time in the last couple of days just focusing in on it's a new month. So whenever a new month comes, you kind of reevaluate how things are going, and it's halfway through the year. Like, we're starting into month 6 of 2024. Which is mind-boggling. It feels like the year just started, and I set goals and had things that I was working on and working towards, and then it's June. And I'm like, wow, like I can't even. June is kind of the halfway mark too for birthdays. Like, I have one in January, one in March, one in April, one in May, one in June. And so I'm getting halfway through, and the birthdays are coming fast and furious. And I'm just like, this year, it is flying by. It's already June. So in my reevaluating, I'm just kind of thinking, I'm always, my goal is always to do better at whatever it is that I'm doing, and to look at my plate and see if it's like overflowing, if it's half empty, half full, kind of, that whole, the perspective of, is what you're doing effective? And so it's been kind of a little bit of like, am I in the right spot? And I do that all the time. Like, I don't know that if it's, am I not content because I want to be? I am happy. I'm so happy where I'm at and with what I'm doing. But if you're not feeling like you should be helping other people and doing more, then I feel like you're kind of in this place of stuck. And I don't want to be stuck. I always want to be making sure that I'm reaching as many people as I can. And that's why I love these videos. Because I heard something this morning by one of the pastors that I watch in my churches that I get to watch. Like, I love my church days, and on Sundays I watch usually a service from my church in London that I sometimes attend, but I'm not anymore because I don't have my car anymore. But I just watch it online, and then I watch Pastor Keon Henderson, and then I watch Bishop Dale Bronner. And if not on Sunday morning, then I get to them through the week. And so I watched Bishop Bronner's service this morning, and he was talking about just walking along the beach. And sometimes, I guess where he's at, he has a cottage someplace where there's starfish that sometimes come up onto the beach. And he will just once in a while pick one up and toss it back in the water. And someone questioned him and said, like, what are you doing? Like, there's so many, you're not helping the situation. And he's like, well, I helped that one. Like, I at least helped that one. And so I feel good about that. And I thought, like, that, is that not what we, in this huge world of so many people with so many problems and so many issues, if we think about it, like, what is the point? Because me just tossing one starfish back is not going to make a difference to this massive problem that you see in front of you, then you will never do anything. And it's such a selfish thought process to have, right? So I connected with that so much. I was like, you know what? That is exactly, I say this all the time, and I will never stop saying it. If somebody watches a video that I've done and they say, I felt like that, I know what she's talking about, I can connect with her, and that's exactly how I feel sometimes. And I kind of push them in a different direction, or I encourage them to do something to better themselves, or to just build their self-confidence, or whatever, then I feel like I've done my job, even if it's just one person. So in the midst of all of my reevaluating and kind of planning the month ahead, it's like, you know, I always just want to continue to help people in the best way possible. So last video I talked about the Kangen water a little bit, and I said I want to get on here and talk about it more, and I have my water right here, and this water has my BCAAs in it, and I have not spent a ton of time on any of the videos really focusing on what it's all about, but I think it's important just to note that I'm trying to reach out to more people. I think I posted something a couple days ago to people that own cottages, that a lot of times when people camp or have cottages at permanent or camp at permanent sites, like, you know, motor homes and mobile homes, you can have a filter on your water source in your tap, and especially at a cottage where a lot of times people bring in their water, and it's like, this makes so much sense. If you have a water system, kind of like you're getting water in and you can't drink the water, this is perfect for you. And I know people that have cottages in places where they bring their water in because the water is not good for them to drink there. And I'm like, this, you need this. This is a no-brainer. Just put it on the tap, and then the water is so good for you. And then the people that are in the fitness industry that I know well, you know, from competing, this is a no-brainer. Like, you should be drinking 8 to 10 like glasses, servings of water a day. And think about the amount of chemicals and garbage that you're taking in. And we're so focused on, you know, non-GMO and all these great foods, and is it organic, and all these things that we're like kind of narrow-mindedly thinking we need to do, but yet we're drinking all these horrible chemicals, and there's like chlorine and garbage and additives in the water to try to make it so that it's clean for us to drink, but it's killing us. So for anyone in that industry, it's like, you need to be telling your clients, and you need to be drinking this water as well. And something that I can do is supply people with water so that they can try it, because that's the thing. I had a friend over that tried it yesterday, and it was like, this is delicious. Like, it's water, but you can taste clean water compared to, I live in a condominium where there's, you know, that there's a lot of gray water, like just sitting in pipes, and to get it up to, I'm on the 20th floor, like, what is that process, even though it's been sanitized through the city system. I just feel so much better knowing that I'm putting something in my body that's not going to adversely affect my health. So for anybody that's interested, and I mean, I'm so not into sales with anything that I do. I feel like I am a conduit to help. And if I have this information and I'm just drinking away all my water, and I shared that dream that I had last week that there was all of a sudden this water was not available. Like, you couldn't drink the water, and then the water bottles were all sold out, and people were freaking out because it's like, what do we do to hydrate? Because we can't drink the water, and you can't just drink pop and crap all the time. You need water in your system. And whoever had a Kangen water machine was doing okay. So I joked about it last week, but it's not funny. It isn't. It's one of those things where I need to start to really encourage people to jump on board because it's a game changer. And I keep saying that too. It's a game changer, but it has been for me. I had said earlier in the year that the diagnosis of AS, ankylosing spondylitis, was something that affects my back and my joints, and it's an autoimmune. And so anyone dealing with any sort of autoimmune condition or skin issues like psoriasis and eczema and things like that, this has been such an amazing source of healing for people. And for me, I have no reason to say that it has not been, because I kind of stepped back from pushing it until I knew that it was something that was working. And it's something that is working. And another cool thing is that from the excess water that comes out when you run it on the machine, you get beauty water. So, people are buying all of these special waters and spritzes and things to put on their face to keep their skin healthy and vibrant looking. And this you can use, pre-applying makeup or what, like just to clean your face and your skin. And it's incredible, like all of it. I don't wear much makeup, and when I do, I don't feel bad because I know that this is going into my body and hydrating from the inside out and just making me feel great. So I wanted to make sure that I touched base on that today. But what I also want to do, and I don't want to spend much more time on here, it's actually have a meeting I have to jump onto, but another thing that Bishop Bronner did was talk about a few just little statements. And one of the things that he said, as he was talking about, not feeling like just helping one wasn't enough, he said, happiness begins when selfishness ends. So I'm pausing because I want us to think about that. Happiness begins when selfishness ends. So we are constantly on this search to be happier in our lives, right? Where do we find happiness? Is it in attaining more money? Is it spending time with loved ones? Is it going for a walk by the water? Is it eating a delicious meal? Where do you find happiness? And a good portion of people that are focused on happiness for themselves aren't happy people, because all they're worried about is themselves. And when you start to give of yourself and be grateful for what you already have, usually you're fairly happy. And that's me in a nutshell. When I am able to give and serve and share information that I know will help someone else, then I feel this incredible amount of happiness and satisfaction. And it's a very selfless thing to be that way. People that are selfish, people that are all about like, well, I don't, they're usually complainers for one. People that are selfish are usually complaining about something all the time, and this isn't hot enough, or it's too hot, or I don't like this, or I want that, and more, and they're not grateful for all that they have and the excess that they have, and so when you step out of yourself, which is usually people that aren't narcissistic and that aren't focused about their own needs, very empathetic people, find a great deal of happiness when they don't just look at how they gain, how they get to profit from it, or how they are going to be better because of it, but how they can help others gain and how others will profit and benefit and succeed and feel good about it after it's all said and done. So I want to say it one more time. Happiness begins when selfishness ends. And then as I say that, I want you to think about, in your thought process in the day, are you being selfish? Are you being selfish about how you spend your time and what you are working towards? Is it for your own benefit, or is it to help someone else? And does it really matter? Like, should you care? Should it matter? I think so. I think that life should not just be about me and all that I can gain and get out of life. Yeah, of course I want the people around me to be super happy, and if I'm not happy, then they aren't going to be. But I think for the most part, the more that you start to do things for other people and kind of take time to make sure that the people around you are benefiting from the things that you're doing, then you'll see that you start to feel this incredible amount of like happiness and satisfaction, and then just the being grateful for what you already have. there's not a day that goes by where I don't, in the midst of feeling like I need to be working harder and doing more and giving more and offering more and talking to more people, that I don't stop and take the time to just be grateful for what I already have. That the more and more and more kind of rat race of life doesn't start or doesn't continue to go on just because I'm always, what are you chasing? Constantly chasing. Is it stuff, or is it the helping hand? And is it the reach out so that you can be of assistance to somebody else? And so some of the ways to do that, and these are some of the points that he made, were when you can't fix your problems, fix your focus. So when I'm complaining about things that aren't going my way, then I change what I'm thinking about. It's like shift that thought process, because you can't fix what's going on right now. It's not going to change. So focus on something else and pour your energy and effort into that. Feed your fears or feed your dreams. All of us have fears. I don't care who you are or how big you think you are. We all have things that we're afraid of, or we're afraid to tackle, or we have inhibitions, and it's like, I don't really know if I want to step into that because I could fail. The fear of failure is big, right? Nobody wants to be in front of everyone and then kind of crumble. And so when you step out of that fear of failing, and you're not focused on the fear itself, but you're feeding your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, then it changes. It takes that fear away. For me, I have to consciously tell myself that fear is of the enemy, that God hasn't given me a spirit of fear, but of power, and that I don't do anything in my own strength. So why am I afraid? Nobody can defeat God. So if he's in me and I'm stepping in his strength, then I don't need to be afraid, because I can just turn to him and say, listen, this is impossible for me to do. I should be doing that all the time in life. I don't always. I try to step into it in my own strength, but when I don't, I remind myself to focus on what it is that I am able to do in his strength and not in my own strength. And you can think of the worst or you can think of the best. And I'm going to finish off on that one, because mindset, and this is one of the things where a good portion of the meetings that I do with work, mindset is the focus, because it is the most important thing. If you think of all of the bad that's going on in your life, and that's where you hang out, then bad things are just going to keep coming to you. And when your mindset shifts to the good things, and you are being grateful, and you aren't feeding your fears, and your thoughts are all towards, you know what, I am going to succeed. Whether it's 10 or 20 or 2 people that I reach today, there is success in that. It's the one starfish. I may not have helped all of the thousands that are on the beach, but if I throw the one back and that one lives, then I've done what I think is all that I'm supposed to do for this day, because we're supposed to take each day and make sure that we make the best of it. And when your mindset is in that place where you know that everything that you're doing is for a reason, a purpose, and it's not just for your own self to succeed, but to help others kind of get to a better place, it's the most rewarding and comforting feeling that I try to attain every day. Like, it's this peace that you have where you're like, okay, you know what, I've done my duty. Like, getting off of here now, after saying the things that I feel like God can put on my heart to say for the day, I'm like, okay, there's going to be somebody that's going to take one little nugget of something that I've mentioned, and they're going to be like, I hope I can do that. I hope I can stop focusing on the fears, and I can feed a positive mindset, and I can help one person, whatever it is. Just even a smile. You don't have to do a ton. Picking up a starfish off the beach and throwing it into the water, that's not a ton of work, right? It's a simple act. Simple acts of kindness. You smile at somebody. You say hello to somebody. Somebody's like, you see women all the time, or even men, but like their shirt at the back isn't zipped up all the way, and you just go up to them and like, you missed a button here, and they're, oh my God, thank you. It's like like that was not hard. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it's those simple things where you can really make somebody think, oh, there are good people in the world. Like, she's not gonna want me walking around looking like I'm half undressed because I had a busy morning and the kids were being crazy and I missed the button, and now I don't look ridiculous. And no one else would tell me. I'm so glad you did, perfect stranger. That's how I think. Because it's like, I would want someone to do that to me. I would want someone to help me if I were struggling, to just give me a little push, just toss me back in and save me. Help me through. Just One simple act, right? So that's what I want to leave with you guys today. Feel motivated to make that change. I'm going to repeat the happiness begins when selfishness ends line one more time to kind of run that one home. Let's stop being selfish. Let's stop just thinking about ourselves and think about what can I do to help someone else today. And that I'm going to end on. I'm way over 10 minutes. I've almost doubled my time now, so 20 minutes in. But happy Monday. Have a great week. I probably will pop in a few more times this week now that I feel like I'm kind of getting used to the one day a week on the video, just to encourage and say hello. But have a wonderful week. We're into June, so happy June, everyone. Take care. I love you guys. Talk soon.